I have been waiting for this article to come out for years now. I cannot wait to get into this article with you. It's just so perfect for who we are as, frankly, just as employees as a whole. We are inherently socially awkward. And if we do not socialize with other human beings, we get weird, like weird in a hurry. The what would be considered a social norm quickly turns into some just random awkwardness. And you're like, how is that even okay? What would make you think you can do that? So I've been waiting for this social experiment to start happening again, where we have the mass basically re-import of folks from work from home and having to refigure out how to associate with other human beings. So again, for those that don't know, I'm a business coach who works out of West Michigan. I come live here most days to share information I share with my clients with you, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So let's get into this here. This is from Business Insider. As always, links are going to be in the description, so be sure to check that out. What a great headline. Great tagline for this. Work from home has made everyone not safe for work. After years of remote work, everyone has forgotten how to behave in the office. This is from Emily Stewart. And it's true. What people just settled into whatever their norms were. And then now they have to come back to the office and remember, like, oh yeah, people can see me when the camera isn't turned on. Oh no, I have to do X, Y, Z. Anyways, let's get into this. Now, there are a lot of perks from working from home. The skip commute, chance for a quick midday workout, and the lack of formal workwear. It's one of the reasons like LL Bean has been able to purchase and build an entirely new headquarters, is because half the country was buying LL Bean comfy wear during the last few years. There was worries about what was going to happen to them in Maine, and their sales, I think they tripled just because of their comfort clothes that they have. Now, many people say, now we're not going to get to the argument about whether it's more productive to work from home or work from the office. That's not what this is about. I've done other videos on that. You can go check that out. And I think that's always going to be an argument. However, we get a little weird. I love this here. A lot of alone time can result in some lost muscle memory, socialization wise, and some slightly freaky habits you'd probably kept under wraps if other humans were within eye shot. Anuska Shen, who runs a workplace wellness agency in the UK, undertakes long, involved beauty treatments on days she's working from home and doesn't have meetings. And I did learn about this during COVID, the morning shed. TikTok has done great about this. So in between sending emails, she applies and removes a combination of face masks, wrinkle patches, hair curlers, and more that is very much not other people appropriate. By the way, anyone who does this as someone who appreciates looking at other people, because that's what I do for a living, thank you for all you do to help there. And if it makes you feel more confident, hey, you do you. Love it. Now, but the other part here is that they do this during the day because they don't want their partner to see it as well, like in the overnight, right? Treats it as a luxury, who's been working from home since starting her business, the yoga company, in 2017. She's never been caught masked up in a spur-of-the-moment meeting, though if she were, she'd take it off. Truthfully, I was one of those weirdos at the office who used to sit on a big exercise ball. So maybe these habits aren't such a non sequitur, but I've certainly become more shameless since being working from home, and that's something we also see. You can get away with a lot more at the house. We're 5 years into the vast pandemic-driven remote work experiment and about 3 years into the return-to-office battle between employers and employees. While people aren't working remotely as much as they were at the height of the pandemic, nearly two-thirds of work, nearly two-thirds of work was being done at home, we're down to about a quarter. So we're down to about 25% of people are working from home. But when they return, it does get awkward. Here's some surveys here. In one of Bloom's recent surveys, 73% of respondents said they showered before working from home, compared to 85% who said they showered before going into the office. Okay. 81% of remote workers said they put on deodorant, compared to 95% of in-office workers. And then for toothbrushing, the margin was slimmer, 92 versus 95. Good, brush your teeth, people. That should be just 100%. Please brush your teeth. It's a hygiene thing, right? So we got Eric, Machnas? I'm sorry if I'm not going to get that right. Who works for an HR consultancy based in New York, has developed what he called a unique routine while working from home that, if anything, sounds more over the top than underachieving. So he gets up a couple hours early to play New York Times game like Wordle and Connections. If you haven't played Connections, you're missing out. It's a great one. And read on the couch. So he's got some puttering around time. Between calls, he does chores like washing dishes, dropping off the rent check, grocery shopping. He considers it a clarity break, part of stress relief. And also among his at-home stress relievers is a song and dance time. So he has song and dance time in between calls. Okay. All right. It says lately he's been on a Taylor Swift kick, so he's obviously getting through the Eras tour. Okay. William Chopik. Folks, we're going to get through this. This is just too good not to read through. William Chopik, a social personality psychologist at Michigan State University, who studies relationships, says that while working from home gives people a ton of flexibility, it can also affect their behavior. And no kidding. There's something to be said for being around other people that kind of polices our behavior a little bit, or at least makes us a little more vigilant to stuff that we do. Yes, you might be a little less likely to get distracted. You probably don't talk to yourself. You don't say weird things. You don't randomly start singing. I do all of those things at home, and the truth is that I would die of cringe if I did that in front of other people. So the one thing I'm getting so far from this article, as we get back into it, is I am not as musically inclined as the average respondent to a Business Insider interview request. I don't randomly break out into song or dance or listen to the music things. That's interesting. Okay, learning something about myself. Online, there's plenty of chatter about the habits people have developed at home that aren't really appropriate for prime time or work. They don't change out of their pajamas, or they get day and night day pajamas. Are day pajamas a thing? I didn't even realize that. They may start happy hour a little early. Ooh, that's never good, folks. No day drinking. No. Talk to themselves or engage in levels of doom scrolling. They'd get into trouble with their managers. I mean, come on. Yeah, everybody does the doom scrolling. Like it or not, the office provides social structure 100%. And if you go too long without it, you may end up developing some overly unstructured behaviors. About a decade ago, when I had a fully remote job, I'd go days without talking to other humans except for the ladies in my noon spin class, where I'm pretty sure I was the only person with a job. A while back, a friend of mine got into the habit of working from the tub. From the bathtub, folks. Okay. Reading and typing away on the computer during hour-long baths. Okay. All right. Strange habits at home. Don't stop at the front door. Remote work can also mean people get rusty on the softer skills needed around coworkers in the office. It may result in some awkwardness, and let's hear what they're going to talk about. A lot of the norms around formal communication have been maintained in remote and hybrid work. A meeting is a meeting, whether you're in a conference room or Zoom. Messaging, being email and Slack, is the same, but informal, spontaneous communication, chatter on the walk to the meeting, an encounter in the water cooler or on the way to lunch, doesn't happen when people are remote. People's skills have shifted to time to their environments. If their environment doesn't lend itself to normal interaction, all of these skills can become super challenging activities. Definitely getting awkward on that. All right. And then the rules of engagement got fuzzier. Compounding the matter is the fact that a lot of people don't get as much practice as they used to socializing in group settings. People are spending more time alone. They're not in church groups or book clubs, community organizations as they were, 50 years ago. Yeah, of course. The rules of engagement have gotten fuzzier. An organizational psychologist who founded the Institute for Life at Work. Perhaps someone sees a group lunch at work, and because they haven't done something like it in so long, they're more nervous about joining than they would. So, excuse me. Liz, I'm gonna leave it here. Please go check out this article. It's pretty interesting. You can kind of see, and what I'm using this note to talk with my clients about, and the small business owners that I work with, is to understand they need to, if they want people to be better and more comfortable socializing, we need to work on ways to reintroduce them to how to socialize with people in the professional manner that you're looking for. So a lot of my clients, we've been working on this, is having smaller luncheons, like where the boss will just do a luncheon with one group, then the other one, and just to kind of get in the habit again of sitting around and practice socializing, what sharing needs to look like, etc. And there's one other thing that we've had to institute, which is, and it's just the phrase professional courtesy. Folks, listen here, folks. There I had one client who asked me how to deal with an individual who was eating anchovies at the, not anchovies, they were eating sardines at the office. Sardines at the office, folks. Enclosed environment, sardines. And listen, I understand you want to get your omega-3s, your fatty acids, all the good stuff, right? You're trying to do the health thing. But folks, sardines in the office, that can't be a thing. You got to be socially aware to know that you are going to be you're going to be upsetting and aggravating the vast majority of your coworkers if you're having sardines in the office. So we just had to come and have that come to Jesus conversation with them. So that's one piece. The other spot is that for a lot of the Zoomers, they've never they work from home. They're relearning how to, they don't even know how to work in an office environment, to be quite honest. They just haven't been there. So a lot of it's going to be education for that as well too. So with that, again, go check out the article here, folks. I thought this was just a fun one for today. As always, if you want to learn more about how I help businesses grow faster than you ever thought possible, be sure to go check me out at summitbusinessguys.com. Take care, and stop being awkward at work, folks. Life's too short. Be a little more considerate here, folks, and just aware of what's going on. All right, we'll see you.